Good morning, everyone. My name is Briel El Bepitel,
And I am Ofira Bla.
and today we'll report about women's condition in the Philippines. But before that, let's have a trivia about the reality of women's condition around the globe. Did you know that more than 70% of people are living on less than $1 a day or 58 pesos a day are women? 80 million children have no access to school. Most of them are girls. Each day, 1,400 women die in pregnancy and childbirth. Young women are 2 to 6 times more at risk of IHV infection than the population as a whole.
1 in 5 women will be a victim of rape or attempted rape in her lifetime. At least 1 in 3 will experience physical, mental, or sexual abuse. These high rates of violence hinder women's access to education, employment, involvement in public life, liberty to make decisions, sexual and reproductive rights. Worldwide, on average, only 16% of elected politicians are women. Laws that promote gender equality are seldom enforced.
Now we know. Let's do something about it. But how can we
How
help?
can we help?
How can we help? Do you have any idea, Miss Wafira?
We can help through by getting to know Magna Carta of Women.
So Magna Carta for Women, or RA number 97110, is one of the laws that protects women's rights in the Philippines. For our report for today, we will discuss the following. Number 1, Declaration of Policy. Number 2, Definition of Terms. Number 3, Rights protected by the Magna Carta of Women. And number 4 are the penalties. But before we begin, let me share a short quote. Feminism isn't about making women stronger. Women are already strong. It's about changing the way the world perceives that strength by G.D. Anderson. What is Magna Carta of Women? It is a comprehensive women's human rights that seeks to eliminate discrimination against women by recognizing, fulfilling, and promoting the rights of Filipino women, especially those in marginalized sectors. Declaration of Policy. What are the policies of the state in relation to RA 9710? First, the state shall affirm the role of women in nation building and ensures the substantive equality of women and men. Number 2, promote empowerment of women and pursue equal opportunities for women and men and ensure equal access to resources and to development results and outcome. Number 3, realize that equality of men and women entails the abolition of the unequal structures and practices that perpetuate discrimination and inequality. The state shall also endeavor to develop plans, policies, programs, and measures and mechanisms to address discrimination and equality in the economic, political, social, and cultural life of women and men. Next, the state shall condemn discrimination against women in all its forms and pursues by all appropriate means and without delay the policy of eliminating discrimination against women in keeping with the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women or CEDAW and other international instruments consistent with Philippine law. Next, the state shall accord women the rights, protection, and opportunities available to every member of society. The state shall also affirm women's rights as human rights and shall intensify its efforts to fulfill its duties under international domestic law to recognize, respect, protect, fulfill, and promote all human rights and fundamental freedoms of women, especially marginalized women in the economic, social, political, cultural, and other fields without distinction or discrimination on account of class, age, sex, gender, language, ethnicity, religion, ideology, disability, education, and status. The state shall also provide the necessary mechanism to enforce women's rights and adopt and undertake all legal measures necessary to foster and promote the equal opportunity for women to participate and contribute to development of the political, economic, social, and cultural realms. The state shall also provide ample opportunities to enhance and develop their skills, acquire productive employment, and contribute to their families and communities to the fullest of their capabilities. The state shall also reaffirm the rights of women in all sectors to participate in the policy formulation, planning, organization, implementation, management, monitoring, and evaluation of all programs, projects, and services. The state shall support policies, researches, technology, and training programs, and other support services such as financing, production, and marketing to encourage active participation of women in national development. Now, what if the state fails to do all the aforementioned declaration? The aggrieved right holders are entitled to institute proceedings for appropriate redress before a competent court or other adjudicators in accordance with the rules and procedures provided by law. Now, let's go to the definition of terms. Women empowerment refers to the provision, availability, and accessibility of opportunities, services, observance of human rights which enable women actively participate and contribute to the political, economic, social, and cultural development of the nation, as well as those which shall provide them equal access to ownership, management, and control of production of material and informational resources and benefits in the family, community, and society. Now let's define discrimination against women. So what is discrimination against women? It refers to any gender-based distinction, exclusion, or restriction which has the effect or purpose of impairing or nullifying the recognition, enjoyment, or exercises by women, irrespective of their marital status, on the basis of equality of men and women, of human rights and fundamental freedoms in the political, economic, social, cultural, civil, or any other field. It includes any act or mission, including by law, policy, administrative measure, or practice that directly or indirectly exclude or restricts women in the recognition and promotion of their rights and their access to enjoyment of opportunities, benefits, or privileges. Marginalization. It refers to a condition where a whole category of people is excluded from useful and meaningful participation in political, economic, and social and cultural life. Marginalized refers to basic disadvantaged or vulnerable persons or group of persons who are most living in poverty and have little or no access to land and other resources, basic social economic services such as healthcare, education, water, sanitation, employment, livelihood, opportunities, housing, social security, physical infrastructure, and the justice system. Now, who are the marginalized groups? The marginalized groups include but not limited to small farmers and rural workers, fisherfolk, urban poor, workers in the formal or informal economy, migrant workers, indigenous people, borrowed children, senior citizen, PWDs, and solo parents. Now let's talk about gender equality. It refers to the principle of asserting equality of men and women and the right to enjoy equal conditions, realizing their full human potentials to contribute to and benefit from the results of development, and with the state recognizing that all human beings are free and equal in dignity and rights. On the other hand, gender equity refers to the policy, instruments, programs, services, and action that address disadvantaged position of women in society by promoting preferential treatment and affirmative action. Such temporary special measure aimed at accelerating de facto equality between men and women and shall not be considered discriminatory, but shall in no way entail As a consequence, the maintenance of unequal or separate standards. These measures shall be discontinued when the objectives of equality of opportunity and treatment have been achieved.